Today, despite all the fucking horse shit I've been going through, I'm afforded some time to write what I've been writing. But here's the thought, and it's something I'm kicking around. So, someone in my life pointed out this, it's the publishing press, if I'm not mistaken. Where's it at anyway? It doesn't even say it on here. This just popped up, so I'm not super familiar with where all the junk is. Does it say it right here? Yeah, this jazz. Here in Portland, and it looks like Cleveland, Ohio. The point of this message is one of the books that I've written that describes part of the system that I'm spoon feeding the masses and I would like to release eventually. I thought it was 900 pages, but it's 800 pages, and there's something I'm thinking about incorporating into it. Plus, it's not done yet. There's still more I'm working on, which means I need to leave wiggle room. This jazz is not even 200 pages. It's digestible, and these days people don't have an attention span. So the likelihood of people reasoning any of the stuff out that I'd like them to work with to begin with is slim to none. Um, by and large, this is superficial as it fucking comes. There's not much in here. There's not. But the point to this is, sort of, I mean, part of what I'm kicking around is condensing or overkill. And personally, I think, you need the angles. It's the same idea as if I thought of a clip, a 30-second clip or a 1-minute clip you find on the internet versus sitting down and listening to a lecture or reading a fucking book and digesting the I almost said entertainment. I was going to say the information. I just woke up and I'm not all there. Pardon me. Digesting the information and working with it. And that's what I want people to do, because in the book that I'm talking about, I'm referring to, I give you guys grassroots approaches and things that you can use to see how reality works. And I spoon feed you a lot of it. I explain a lot of it. Here and there, I'll ask you guys to work with some of it if you want to see more. Case in point, there's companion books that I'm also writing. That's not the only one that describes this thing, but the first one, I think, really paints a picture and gives you tools that you can use. And for those of you out there, if you choose that adventure and you start to do this, there are other books, in other words. Another one's going to involve time. Another one, well, I'm not going to tell you what the other one has to do with, or what the one in question has to do with, until I release it. But yeah, then you could use each one of them in tandem, and it's pretty fucking amazing. The research, I've been excited about it all these goddamn years, and what I've been working on recently, I mean, it's very exciting. Just cleaning up old documents. So much of this is the seminars. It's the seminars condensed, further condensed into individual books. For those of you who have never heard me talk about that and or aren't paying attention, because today I experienced somebody who's been following one of my accounts who isn't paying attention. It's very fucking frustrating. There's 10 seminars in total. And should I rattle off what they are again? The first seminar has to do with, you could think of it as binary. It's seminar 0 and 1, and it has to do with the nature of light and frequency. Seminar 2 has to do with misconceptions, mumbo jumbo, and the ridiculous shit that people fucking repeat. I mean, here's an example that doesn't come up nearly enough. Have you ever heard somebody talk about yoga? Well, have you, motherfucker? Yoga doesn't have to do with exercise, but that's what people repeat. Another one is 26 letters in the English alphabet, but people haven't figured that out. That's a misconception. What else? There are so many. People just rattle off fallacies, and I could do this all goddamn day. Some of the token ones that I've rattled off, probably in the initial seminars, Pandora's, what was it, box was a jar. It's a mistranslation. Another one's, Gavin Rosdale's Everything Zen. Zen is a mistranslation. We have no idea what the fucking original word was, but if you took the English equivalent, what it is now does relate to the flower of life. Food for thought. Yeah. So that's Seminar 2. Seminar 3, I'm not going to tell you what it's about. Seminar 4 has to do with lunar and solar cults, respectively, and sigil branding. What do I mean by sigil branding? Anytime you see an automobile, yeah, it's sigil branded with wandering stars, not planets. That's why you've been told to repeat things having to do with planets so that you further disconnect from what reflects reality. You don't understand shit, and people don't. Seminar 5 has to do with black magic, the tarot, what people call the occult, numerous things. There's some magic squares in there naturally and a bunch of other stuff, and it's pretty neat. One of my favorite seminars is Seminar 6 because it has to do with the ether, which means it has to do with how this jazz is flowing through us. This thing that you've been told doesn't exist, and yet it's in the space propaganda, which is why you were taught about the Force, and you are likely familiar with what the Force is. It's a bad joke, and people don't get it. Seminar 7 has to do with something I don't want to become another fucking paradigm, another fucking outline. It has to do with where we are, what this is, and how it works. It's not the flat earth, it's not the globe theory, it's not the concave earth, it's not the hollow earth, it's not any of our masters' fucking narratives that they've spoon-fed people. Because you can't use those as a tool. Yeah. Seminar 8 is my least favorite fucking seminar. So much so, I think I hate it, but it's very long. It's very long, and it has to do with the most superficial aspect of anything you could think of. Politics, society, religion, and the numerous agendas our masters have rolled out. Numerous agendas our masters told us they were going to roll out, and these days, many of those have come to fruition. They are quite true. They were right. They were telling us the truth all along. It was lesser magic. And the people you and I are surrounded by have no fucking clue, which is why those agendas have legs. Seminar 9, I'm not going to tell you what it's about. And Seminar 10 has to do with time. And yeah, most of the seminars are pretty lengthy for the most part. Like I said, 8 is exceptionally long. Seminar 10 having to do with time is exceptionally long. Seminar 9 is pretty long as well. Seminar 7's not, I don't feel like it's too long though. Seminar 6 for the ether is pretty fucking long. Seminar 5 isn't too long. Seminar 4 is, it's a modest size. Seminar 3 I don't think is long enough. And every now and again, I think about rolling it into some of the other jazz, but it has to do with something. Seminar 2 is pretty long, and Seminar 1 is pretty long as well. That's the rundown if anybody sat through this and or have never heard me talk about that jazz, and that's the foundation of what built up what I'm doing having to do with the books and the system I've been working on. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I won't even throw this online. Here and there, just for cathartic reasons, I've been recording videos for myself these days just to rant. I mean, on YouTube, again, most people aren't being shown any of this shit. TikTok, supposedly, I'm still in an influx on and off where maybe 300 people will see some of these, roughly, usually about 200. But it's hard to say if it's bots and 7 people. It's really hard to say. Yeah, either way, as always, what the fuck do I know? I can teach you things you're not supposed to know. I will say this. Bright colors pop, for one. It's presentable. Some of the font in here is kind of cute. Where's that? I just ran through it. The bigger ones. Where the fuck is it? But all of this jazz is just rehashing shit that's available to the general public. You can find this shit. You can find it. You don't have to pick up this book. It's my point. Because it's not going to teach you something you're not supposed to know. It's not going to teach you something that's not public knowledge. And that's why I don't see this as being important whatsoever. That's why I called attention to it. In stark contrast to what I can teach you. And again, it's 800 pages at present. And I'm trying to figure out, I'm still upstairs in the loft. I'm trying to figure out how I want to tackle it when I go down there. So I thought I'd record a video. If you hung out, thanks for hanging out with me. Oh yeah, and this fucking gal calling herself Sparkly Cat. The person who told me about this they like this jazz. And that's fine. Everyone's got their preference. But the moment I saw this associated with that, it's kind of like how you would think of somebody wearing their name tag, a mohawk, and going to a job interview. You're going to have a knee-jerk reaction, typically speaking. And yet, part of me also thinks, fuck it. Shit like that shouldn't matter. Then again, in Portland, you got cops with numerous tattoos, and I'm still talking. All right, I'll shut up.